You wrote a letter to the president, an open letter, which you said in that letter, you said you noticed and spoke about this first in June 2016. Beyond just talking, what about physical communication? Did you attempt to do that?
Come again? Are you speaking to me?
You wrote a letter, an open letter to the president about this matter, and in that letter you said you first warned about this situation in Taraba, Adamawa, Nasarawa.
Yes.
Okay, so you said you warned about these happenings in Nasarawa, Adamawa, Benue, and some other parts of the country way back in 2016. I'm saying, beyond just warning, what else can we do to ensure that this kind of things are curbed to the barest minimum, if not completely eradicated?
I'm a professor. My job is thinking. I think about phenomena. I think of things that affect my continent, Africa. And I have, in the past 18 years, concerned myself with issues of leadership, which is in deficit in most countries of Africa. And I noticed that one sure thing that was going to disturb and destabilize Nigeria was absence of peace. Without peace, nobody can do anything. And we ought to be able to sacrifice anything in order to get peace. And so when I began to study the phenomena of the rising tensions, of conflicts, of the number of deaths, it continued to rise. And I noticed a particular pattern. When the present government came into power, there was an escalation, and I was deeply worried. So I studied the phenomena, I researched, and it seemed to me that the ultimate destination of this was a genocide that will engulf most of the Middle Belt states, from southern Adamawa, Taraba, Plateau, southern Kaduna, Nasarawa, Kogi states. And I was alarmed. Now, obviously, I'm not in government, but I am a man that is deeply indebted to Nigeria, my country. And therefore, I decided to write a letter, a memo to the president. That letter was not written off the cuff. I reflected on it very deeply, and then I wrote a 37-page memorandum to the president. I outlined to him the significance of genocide. It is irreversible, and it has consequences that are awful. And that for many years, the 1948 Genocide Convention was not ratified by Nigeria. Indeed, in the beginning of this democracy in 1999, 2001, and when the Zakibiam incident took place, there was a genocide in Zakibiam. There was a genocide in Odi. But Nigeria had not yet acceded to the Genocide Convention. In fact, it was in 2008 that Nigeria acceded to the Genocide Convention.
Okay, Professor Hagher.
And the President...
Professor Hagher, yes, we are aware of that letter that you sent, or you wrote to the President. What question Nelta has asked is, how can we deal with all of these issues? Yes, a lot of people have died. How can we ensure, what are your own, recipe to solve this problem at hand?
Excellent. In that letter, I outlined how genocide can be prevented. A strong rule of law and serious commitment to justice. The fact that democracy is a government of the people. The people must be given representational power. The leaders ought to listen to the people, to hear their prayers. And if the people are hurt, the leaders ought to identify with them and empathize with their situation. So if the leaders come out with a project or a program or a policy that deals with herders and does not deal with the farmers, it is not dealing with a balanced view of finding a solution to the problem of food security. I expected that when this country wants to start becoming an honor and justice society, all the former problems of this country, all the former conversations that we have discussed about, all the panels we have had before, all the judicial commissions and all the white papers that have been stuck in government should be brought out in the open. There's too much secrecy. Democracy, the government is accountable to the people, and the people should hold the government accountable. So we should be free to criticize our leaders. We should be free to advise them.
You listened to the Secretary General of the Miyetti Allah talk about their concerns about the law and what he thinks should be the solution, a sit down at the table to talk. What's your take on that?
I find it laughable that this person and his association have been reported as having taken part in a genocide. They are criminals, alleged criminals in a crime that has been committed. The government should first and foremost arrest them and try them. There is no question that they had conspired, they had planned and executed a gruesome genocide. They flouted the laws. If they did not like the law that was made, there's only one course. Go to the courts, and while the issue is in court, the court will determine whatever the status quo ante should have been. It is the court and not they. They acted with impunity. They went to people's homes. There was no communal clash. There was no struggle. People were sleeping. Women were sleeping with their children, and these people went in the night and killed them.
Did you hear
They're
also
criminals. They should be arrested.
Did you also hear
And
him
if they
talk
have
about
anything
Prof,
against the law that was made, they should have obeyed the law, and having obeyed the law, they would have then taken the matter to court. But they took the laws into their hands.
Prof, did you also hear him talk about how their own people were killed, over 100 in Numan?
Sorry?
I said, did you also hear him talk about how their own people were killed in Numan, over 100?
Yes, yes. Whoever kills herders, the government over the years, over the months, has not addressed the matter. Whoever kills another person, the duty of government is to ensure that people stay together in peace. Our responsibility as citizens is to make sure that we obey the government, we pay our taxes, we pay our dues, and try to live together in peace. And anytime there's a breach, that is why the police are there. That's why the police mainly and the security agencies are there. And government at the highest level is aware of the security situation in this country on a day-to-day level.